If you know anything about the NBA, you probably have heard of the name Magic Johnson. But do you know he is not only one of the greatest basketball players, but he is also one of the most accomplished player-turned-entrepreneurs with an estimated net worth of over $600 million. Earvin Magic Johnson Jr. was born on August 14, 1959 and made over $40 million in his 13-year career. But what is more impressive was that he was able to use it to invest in other business ventures, making him one of the richest basketball players of all time. Just in case you don't know much about Magic's career or his accolades, here's a quick recap. Magic is one of the 50 greatest players in NBA history and the greatest 75 players in NBA history. He is a member of the 1992 Dream Team. He is also a Hall of Famer and a member of the Showtime Lakers dynasty in the 1980s. He won 5 NBA championships and 3 NBA Finals MVP. He is also a 12-time NBA All-Star and 2-time NBA All-Star Game MVP, 4-time NBA All-Assist leader and NCAA champion, and NCAA Final 4 Outstanding Player. Basically, one of the winningest basketball professionals of all time in all stages of his career. Before Michael Jordan became the GOAT, Magic Johnson's rivalry with Larry Bird was the highlight of the NBA in the 1980s. If it wasn't for HIV, he could have had an even better career. But what was most amazing is that Magic had an even better career as an entrepreneur and investor, in addition to staying involved with the NBA, especially considering in a report by Fox News in 2022, a staggering 78% of all professional athletes will go broke after just 3 years of retirement. Magic Johnson was drafted in the 1979 draft with the first-round pick by the Los Angeles Lakers. Magic retired abruptly in 1991, in his 12th season, after contracting HIV, and came out of retirement and returned to play in the 1992 All-Star Game, but retired again due to protests by fellow players. Magic will return to play 32 games for the Lakers before retiring for the third and final time in 1996 at the age of 36.
Something happens. And then you find out who really your friends are and people who really care.
Now, let's keep in mind that the NBA in the 1980s and the 1990s were vastly different from the NBA today, both in terms of the contract sizes and contract durations. In 1981, Magic signed a 25-year, $25 million contract with the Lakers, the highest at the time. The idea was for Magic to play for the Lakers throughout his career, then for him to move into management and team operations afterwards. Keep in mind, the average salary in the NBA was just under $190,000 in 1981. Magic earned nearly $40 million in salaries in his 13-year career. However, in 2022, his investment firm, Magic Johnson Enterprises, now has holdings worth an estimated $1 billion across various industries. The business entity was first created in 1987 when Magic was around 28 years old and just entered his prime. But for the 62-year-old Magic, his business journey really began much earlier than that.
In 1986, making $2 million a year, Abdul-Jabbar faced financial disaster, charging his business manager with mismanaging millions of dollars. For Magic, it was a wake-up call about taking care of his own finances.
He felt very bad because he was crazy about Kareem. Most Afro-American athletes end up broke, and he learned from that.
I said, I can't let this happen to me. So I got to get rid of everybody and get me the right people in place. And I got to really sign all my own checks, all of that.
According to the official Magic Johnson Enterprises website, it all started in 1981. Just 2 years after Magic entered the NBA, Magic was already planning for the future when he invested in 2 Colorado radio stations and opened 32 retail stores. Some of the notable moves of the Magic Johnson Enterprises include: in 1990, Magic would partner with Earl G. Graces Sr. to purchase a Pepsi Cola distributorship, and the two would have a lasting work relationship for the decades to come. In 1995, Magic would partner with Sony Retail Entertainment to open 12 screen theaters in Los Angeles. In 1998, Magic would partner with Starbucks.
Magic's initial deal with Schultz gave him 50% ownership of 10 Starbucks. They did so well that Schultz gave the go-ahead for 30.
Now, instead of traveling outside our community, we can spend our money right here in our own community.
And later, 125.
A lot of mornings, I would actually drive outside and sit in the parking lot and watch how many people would go in. I would come in early in the morning to make sure we were getting the lines out. I'm a detail-oriented guy. I'm a hands-on guy. I'm a control freak.
In 2001, Magic partnered with 24 Hour Fitness. In 2004, Magic partnered with Burger King and opened 29 locations. In 2012, Magic was part of the investor group that would purchase the Los Angeles Dodgers baseball club. In 2014, Magic was part of the group that purchased the WNBA's Los Angeles Sparks. In the same year, he also became a member of the ownership team in the Los Angeles Football Club. He also became a controlling shareholder of Accolades Life Insurances Co. In 2016, the Los Angeles Sparks won the 2016 WNBA championship. In 2017, Magic partnered with JLC Infrastructure and Loop Capital Markets LLC and Delta Team in an $8 billion rebuild of LaGuardia Airport project. Also in 2017, Magic was named President of Basketball Operations for the Los Angeles Lakers. In 2018, Magic would partner again with JLC Infrastructure and the Loop Capital Markets LLC and work on Denver International Airport's Great Hope project. In 2019, Magic resigned as Lakers President of Basketball Operations abruptly, but he was an instrumental piece that landed LeBron James in 2018, and the Lakers would go on to win the championship in 2020 in the bubble. In 2020, the Los Angeles Dodgers won the 2020 World Series championship, while Magic was a part owner of the baseball club. 2020, insurance company that he became a controlling shareholder in 2014 was able to provide $325 million in capital to fund loans through the SBA's Payback Protection Program for minority and women-owned businesses. What's even more incredible is that Magic was a part owner of multiple professional teams, including the Los Angeles Lakers, the Los Angeles Dodgers, the Los Angeles Sparks, and in addition to the 10 NBA championships he won, 5 as a player and later as a minority owner of the Lakers. The Sparks won the 2016 WNBA championship and the Dodgers won the 2020 World Series champion.
He'd be a terrific owner because he focuses on a lot of things, but he's not intimidated by, I would say, the stardom of the players. No matter who you are, if you haven't walked in their shoes, you tend to be intimidated by celebrity and by stardom. That's just the way it is. But not if you're Magic Johnson.
Even though he's really successful now, I think this path is going to be wider. I think this is going to be like a freeway.
The legend of Magic Johnson is still going strong. Perhaps when it is all said and done, he will be one of the, if not the most accomplished NBA player and owner of all time. This is NBA Player and Their Money Part 1. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you are still here, please like and subscribe and comment down below. This is Dennis. See you in the next video. NBA Player and Their Money, the Shaq Superman story coming up.